Sharing. Oh. Yeah. Smart.
All right. We running live. All right, all right.
How are you?
You guys got the link, right? I sent you, right?
Oh yeah, we're putting that out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
How's Cali going right now?
It's the same as everywhere else, depending on your perspective of what's normal. So for us, Cali is going as well as we're making it. You know, we're working, we're networking, we're building, we're growing, we're learning, we're quarantined, we're safe, we're happy, we're healthy, it's warm, the weather is nice, the weed is nice. So you know that
and legal,
and it's legal. The weed is
It's legal.
So you know it's not much to complain about when we woke up this morning. So Cali is nice.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So we're gonna start with our intro and we'll get into it.
Yes.
I'm going back to Cali. Going back.
That's the intro. That's the intro.
I didn't know that was the intro. I never heard that one.
the live version, live performance. Welcome everyone. I'm Savon Smith. I'm Woody Kali.
I'm Edmund Bellevue.
Our seminar is brought to you by www.foundedplayers.org. Please donate at our PayPal link on our website or at our Cash App at #FoundedPlayers24 or Zelle SMI@gmail.com. For your donation, we are offering a 20% discount off your stay at Founded Players Home Away from Home in Columbus Heights, Ocho Rios, Jamaica. Treat yourself to a well-deserved vacation with your 20% discount on your stay at our property. Please share our organization and property with your family and friends. Book with us. About us. We are an organization created to teach financial literacy to children and adults. Our seminars will educate people in areas such as managing credit, making investments, buying a home, life insurance. We want to use these financial seminars to educate people who would otherwise not be learning about these crucial topics. The Home, located in Ocho Rios, Columbus Heights, the home away from home. A private hillside condo overlooking the beautiful bay and city view. A 2-bedroom furnished apartment with kitchen, living room, and private balcony. Included are our great amenities such as a pool, gym, Wi-Fi, and household essentials. The area. Take a few minutes drive to the famous Young River Falls. Visit the beach at the bottom of the hill and experience the casual and fine dining of Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville restaurant. You can take the time and read a few of our testimonials at the bottom of our Airbnb. Book with us. Thank you, everyone, for supporting Founded Players. Play from home.
The name of the organization came from 6 founding players of the Savants Academy Stars basketball program. Savants Academy was created to use basketball developing winners on and off the basketball court. These 6 founding players were the foundation of SAS. We want to pay respect to these players as their lives continue after basketball. So what better opportunity than to stay involved in these players' and parents' lives for a lifetime? So we are proud to call the organization Founding Players and to educate others by teaching financial literacy.
Oh, I don't hear anything.
I think the ending has
Oh.
nothing up there.
Trophy, whoa, set goals, execute the plan, whoa, marathon I made sure I ran, whoa, very grown but I stay Peter Pan, whoa, anywhere I go,
Hey. So,
Yes, sir. There he is. There he is.
nice to see you. I've been anticipating it the whole time. It was getting heavy.
Yes, sir. I'm live and direct. So are you guys.
Yeah, we are. That was beautiful. Thank you for that intro. Thank you for the intro. Thank you for the understanding of the intention. And it's really dope because we'll get into it like in the conversations, but a lot of those things around that realm we're actually like really into and learning about daily. So it's just all aligning.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Yeah, man. You know, I caught myself trying to do those moves, but it was a little difficult for me.
Nah, he knew he would pull a
Just
muscle.
gotta
He knew he would
subscribe
pull
to
a
our
muscle.
tutorials online, you know?
I've been seeing you guys so much. I could see you guys from a distance. I said, "Yep, that's King. Yep, that's Blacker." But I know all the moves. Watching all
You know the moves.
Yeah. Well, welcome to our show, man. Appreciate having you guys. You know, you saw the intro. We're about financial literacy, but we also want to uplift, you know, our family, friends, and whoever, you know, we come across that we could bring on our platform to share their success with us. And, you know, we thank you guys for coming on. You know, dance is very, very important in a lot of people's lives, you know, so I'm sure everyone is excited to see you guys and to listen to you guys, man. So welcome, man. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you. King.
So my name is Wendell Bullen. I go by the name King Kayak. So I was born and raised in Carriacou, Grenada, in the West Indies, and then I migrated to the US. So I've been living in the US now for about 10 years. I'm a professional dancer, choreographer, movement coach, artist, songwriter, producer, well, music producer. That's pretty much it. I'm 26 years old.
Right.
26 years old. I've been dancing now for about, I think I would say since like 2007. But professionally for about like, maybe like 5 or 6 years now, I guess. I lose track. So I've worked for artists such as Janet Jackson, Neo, like Cranium, a lot of Caribbean artists, a lot of A-list artists, different people. And I love food. Shoot, I love fun. You know, thank you again, as Blacker said, thank you again for even, you know, inviting us to this platform, because this is something that we're definitely interested in, something that we are learning like daily, like we're on it, like even as we speak right now.
Mhm.
So that's a little bit of gist about me and brother. Yeah.
Yes,
So-
sir. Yes, sir. All right, we're gonna let Ed jump in and, you know, ask you guys some questions, and I have some questions of my own for you guys. But go ahead, Mr. Ed.
Well, we got to hear from the next person, Mr. Blacker, the dancer. You know, let him introduce himself. You know, he's I know he's an actor. He's a choreographer. He's a musician. He's been doing it all. Teacher, you know, and I've been following these brothers for some time now. I mean, I think I bounced into Wendell first, actually, and it was at the Caribbean Parade.
Oh yeah.
And we was doing a photo shoot, and that's how we you know, end up linking at the time. So, you know, I'm not gonna hold it back. So Blacker.
I appreciate the love, like always, for real. I always appreciate the love, and thank you for the opportunity to reciprocate that. So to introduce myself, my name is Blacker the Dancer. I'm born and raised in Brooklyn, New York City, by way of the islands. I'm a dancer, choreographer, artist, entertainer, actor, philanthropist. So I own my own charity. I have my own charity I've been running in Jamaica for about 3 years now. It's called the Little Dancer Program. My movie, actually, I just acted in a film called The Yellow Girl, and now we're Oscar qualifying and Academy Award qualifying, and we're on the way to win the BAFTA, one of the five finalists. Thank you, and the BIAA awards as well. So the acting is going well. The music is going well too. Just put out some new records and working on some EPs. But yeah, just like King was saying, I just started dancing in about like 2002, started going to the parties. So I've been in the dance hall clubs for about 18 years now. Just partying from CPAC to Elite Arc to Wild Palms in the Bronx, to, you know, club attractions, and, you know, just a lot of people, and just kept going, you know, just love bug for dancehall. Like this love bug, this random crush that I had for no reason, but for every reason for dancehall. And then just kept running, and eventually I joined my first dance competition. My first Dancehall King competition was actually in 2009, and won the Dancehall King competition. And then from there, started working towards other things, touring with Collie Buds. As King said, worked with Janet Jackson, Faruko, ASAP Rocky, Rihanna, Drake, Shaggy, Major Lazer, Diplo, Skrillex. You know, we've done Madison Square Garden, you know, we've done Barclays Center. So like, just when I say those things, those are not successes for us, because what we do is for our culture, and what happens to our culture happens to us. So, you know, we say this with just all admiration that, you know, we brought our cultures in. You know, we brought our cultures to the Barclays, brought our cultures to Madison Square, and now we're bringing our culture virtually, you know, because the world forced us to do that. But life has a funny way of making it happen the way it's supposed to happen, you know. So we're out here and we're happening with life, because we understand that it's bigger than us. It's definitely bigger than us. And we are working on financial literacy. I actually like to just be straight up. We're working on, you know, just like stocks and options and Forex and different trading options. And I'm actually going to start teaching option trading soon online for just the worldwide community. I've been practicing and learning and trading every single day, and just trying to get my community into that, because I've realized the benefits of that, realized the benefits of the stock market, and realized the benefits of just understanding it, understanding economics. You know, it's not just about finances, but it's also about the economy. We've been working with Lisa the Landstronaut. She's an amazing, amazing woman, intelligent. She teaches us, and we've been researching. So yeah, there's a lot of financial talk that can happen today, and I'm so happy it can happen within our community, within our Black and West Indian communities, virtually. Like this is the most fire thing and the most fire conversation that all of us melanated brothers can have today, for real.
That's what's up. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey,
As a
man.
fellow West Indian, the love
Yeah.
is real, bro. I'm Haitian, so when I see y'all doing y'all thing, Wendell, you be repping that flag. Much love. It don't matter, you know, you're a neighboring island, man. So I want, you know, Godspeed. I want the best, you know, for y'all, man. I want the best, you know, success for y'all.
Thank you. It's all one island. That's what I love about the West Indies, you know? It's the same house, different rooms. That's it.
Yeah, man. It's I'm glad that you're doing all those financial stuff that you're doing, that because, you know, 3 of us right now are doing the same thing. So we also studying the stocks, and we also doing Forex, and some investing. As you saw, Airbnb in Jamaica,
Yeah.
that we are connected with our founding players. So, but yeah, I just wanna.
That's fire.
That's really dope.
Yeah, so fire. Goals.
So we wanna. So you see, I'm doing other things than just rec, all right? So, I just want to start from the beginning. I want to know exactly how you guys, you both can answer these questions, but how you guys started. What was that influence that got you guys going? What's that humble beginning?
Well,
Mm,
I
got you.
came from humble, simple living in Grenada, well, Carriacou. You know, my love for dance started when I got introduced to BET, because on the island we only had, I think, like 33, 34 channels on the TV, and on this is the same network every day. So I used to, after school, when I was maybe probably, I think, like 2nd or 3rd grade, my older brothers, they would watch some BET videos, and I would always watch a lot of like the Usher videos, because around them time, like, a lot of his videos and stuff were out. And then later on, I got into, I started seeing more of the Omarion and then Chris Brown and like other artists, but it started with Usher. So I just, I was just really interested in that, because I always, every Caribbean person can dance. I don't care what you say. When you're born in the Caribbean, of Caribbean heritage, you know how to dance.
It's in the blood.
So, I got introduced to more hip hop dance first, actually. And then from there, I just, kept practicing little things, because there was like 1 or 2 other dancers alone on the island that would like really dance a little bit, but then eventually they stopped. But from there, the thing that got it for me was I was watching You Got Served, and the minute I saw that, I told myself, like, I'm gonna be in a dance movie or dance film one day. I'm gonna be like a professional entertainer. I'm gonna do this, and that's where it started from.
Nice.
Yo, we need a handshake. We need a handshake like that, guys.
We will show you. We'll teach you. So it's called Zest. Is anybody in here familiar with Zessers? Are you familiar with the word Zesser or Zesser? Zest?
No, I know Zeppelis.
All right, so Zesser is the word now, and that's our lifestyle. So we're Zessers and we Zest. Okay, so it's a Zest lifestyle.
Oh,
now,
Zest.
Yeah, so you ever hear the song from Trinidad Ghost? Zesser, Zesser.
Oh, yes. I got it now.
So a Zesser is a ghetto youth in Trinidad would get what I want, do what I want, just live that.
Oh, Zest. I didn't catch that one.
So this right here is a Z. If you take that, make a Z. So we get big Z's, but we're not asleep, right?
Okay.
So now when you remove the Z's, you have each one. So he has his half, I have my half. So we say that.
All right.
Pretty dope. That's pretty dope.
All right. I only got this, so
Hey, let me jump in for a second. I gotta leave for a short maybe 2 minutes, because my phone's about to die and my charger is not charging. So I'm going to come off and sign back in, because I'm not sure why it's not charging. So I'll be right back.
All right. I'll look out for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got you covered. You see, we're trying to have the same chemistry, you brothers got, man. You guys are like one.
Oh yeah, man.
You guys like Voltron, man. When you guys get together, I remember in the class, man, I was like, wow, those guys are like Voltron. You guys come together, man. It's like y'all become one.
They sync. Yeah, so Blacker, so go on, tell us, your humble beginning, how everything started.
It's funny, I always forget to talk about myself. I'm sitting here staring at y'all staring at me, I'm just like, all right, cool. I'm like, oh, that was a good one. So I'll tell y'all a story. And this is what I've realized actually, like amongst the years, actually just being able to look back and kind of make sense of it all. And I've realized my story after looking back at my story. So when I was in elementary school, and let's say I was when I was in kindergarten, I was always the class clown. I was always getting in trouble. My mother knows every one of my teachers and the principals. I was getting suspended, almost getting expelled. I was getting into fights. My mouth was hot. You know, like things like that would happen, right? But that was in the beginning, like, because I would always disrupt the room. So then they told my mother I had ADD and that I could not pay attention. And then I would always disrupt the room. Then they try to put me in different classes. I'd always get my work done, but I'd always disrupt the room. And in every single year, I'd always be the class clown. And I took pride in it. Even in my 6th grade yearbook, in the graduation book, I was the class clown. In junior high school, in my yearbook, out of every student in the school, I'm the class clown. And even in high school, through our graduation yearbook, throughout all of the high school students, if you look in the photo, I'm the class clown through hundreds and thousands of students throughout my life. And what I started to realize amongst the years is my story has been not a story of disruption and disrupting attention. My story is just that I always found joy in making people smile. And I didn't realize that that's all it was for. I'd always crack a joke in the middle of class because it wasn't about what the teacher was saying. It was about, I felt like the moment was missing a smile. I felt like the moment was missing a laugh. I felt like the moment was missing lightness. And as a child, I couldn't communicate that with myself. So all I would do was react to that natural urge I had to say, okay, nobody's laughing now. And it'd be so crazy to disrupt that system, that systematic education system that we all were misled by. It's so crazy to disrupt that, but like, I was just doing it because I wanted people to smile. So my story is, I've been dancing all my life. I've been dancing all my life, just like any other Caribbean kid would say, because our parents actually have us dancing before we could walk. Our parents hold our hands while we're in diapers and we're moving before we could actually take a step. So I have been dancing all my life, but I started dancing and I started going to clubs in 2002. And I started moving and moving and moving and moving and moving because I just had this urge to make people smile. I didn't know why. It wasn't because I lacked love or it wasn't because I lacked happiness. I feel like there was just always an overflow of it. And it always just kept spilling over and spilling out. And now that I'm old enough to realize that that's what it was, I'm grateful enough to know how to redirect that. So I guess my story for y'all was just a story of revelation and story of gratefulness of every single thing in that journey. The humble beginnings come from really just having to fight for it. Like not just wanting it, but fighting for it and building it and galifesting it and making sure that it comes to light, making sure that it happens. When like King knows and stuff, like even when I first started touring and first started traveling, like I paid for all my own plane tickets. I paid for all my own hotel rooms. You know, I didn't have a feeling of entitlement. I had a feeling of enlightenment, a feeling of I needed to build what I wanted and needing to connect the bridges that I wanted to happen. So, you know, like starting it all and doing it all with the close circle around you, because it's never for yourself, because no man is an island, but being supported by the close circle around you, having those sleepless nights and those hungry nights and really like going through that to just do something you love, not even just like it's an investment, you know what I mean? Like to just do something that's gonna make you smile, make people smile around you, it humbles you because you're not thinking about anything else but happiness at any point in your career, you know? So from the outside looking in, it's easy to be like, oh, those guys are humble. But on the inside looking out, it's just who we are because we're just doing what we love. But people just happen to catch notice to it. People just happen to look at us, looking at ourselves, doing what we love, you know, and that part about, you know, fame and popularity and celebrity and stardom is super interesting because nothing actually changes about a person through success and nothing actually changes about a person through the journey, only the perception of the people around them. And that part about it is super interesting because now you have to kind of get into the role of who people see you as, also as who you are. And it's not because you're not being who you are, it's because you can never control the perception of who people see you as, especially when success is a big defining factor. You know what I mean? So humble beginnings, but I would more say just humility is how we operate.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm back in, man. I don't know what the question was, but you know, the way you guys are answering the questions, hey, you guys are amazing, man. I like the way you're speaking, you know, very influential, and it's just a pleasure to be able to hear, you know, the things that you guys are saying, you know, because the audience, they can definitely take something from this interview, you know, because you guys are educating us on, what you do. And it's amazing to know that you're not just telling us what you do, you're teaching us about what you do.
Right.
Thank
Right.
you.
So we're gonna take a little quick little break, and we're gonna come back and with this question of how did you guys meet? So we'll be right back.
Hey, Ed, you're taking
Yes,
all
sir.
my questions, bro.
Make it in business, you need that support system and you need the right people around you. Those positive people, those people that are always encouraging you, the people that believe in you. Negativity is only gonna bring you down in any business you're doing. And you also need to believe in yourself. In everything that you're doing, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to be able to handle going through the storm, because in every single business, there's some hurricanes, there's some tornadoes, there's some earthquakes, but you just get back up. You just get back up. It's all life. So, but that's pretty much it.
Our goal, building a home, is quite similar to building your life. Our goal at Founding Players is to build a solid foundation, starting from the bottom to the top. Your life is just as important as building a home to live in. Using our foundation first philosophy, we can build from a young age on into adulthood, creating a safe, positive environment for the children of our future.
Now, Ed, before you jump in, I got a quick question based off of what Amika just touched on, and I want to ask you, and your partner can answer this as well. How do you guys feel?
1 second, because he went to grab some water real quick. He's coming
Okay.
right now.
No problem.
My phone.
Yeah, we're here.
All right. So question for both of you. What are your thoughts about having the right people around, and what are the benefits of having the right people around you?
Wait, repeat the question one more time, sorry.
What are your thoughts of having the right people around you, and what are the benefits of having the right people around?
Well, I mean, for me, my thoughts about having the right people around me is, I think, a lot in energy. Energy is everything, and energy is currency. Energy is electricity, energy. So having the right people around you increases the energy and the vibration around you, especially depending on the intention of your spiritual circle, the intention of the people around you, the intention of your thoughts, of your actions, of everything. So for me, it's of the utmost importance to have the right people around you, because those people either drain your energy or fuel it. Those people either give or take away. So yes, that is my answer.
Yeah, definitely. How about you? You agree with him?
To I think it's amazing to always have the right people around, because you can't just have anything and anybody within that that space that the space that you don't mind being a little bit vulnerable to, getting to a specific goal. So I feel like having the right people around can help you in the right direction. They can give you some guidance. They can physically do it, or you can lead by example from what you see them do.
Okay. What would you say are the benefits what have you benefit from having, you know, like it could be somebody that was very, very influential. Is there anyone that's influential that's been around you that you could say, you know what, I love being around that person right there?
Well,
Yeah.
see, you took my question now.
You know what's funny? Both of you took my thoughts. as this is happening, I was like, okay, so let me. We're answering our questions with our conversation.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
So,
That's the vibes.
that's
Yeah.
the vibes. So my answer would be, well, to answer exactly what you just said, like the last thing you just said, like who are the influential people around me that I love being around? My answer would be everybody. I personally don't keep people around me that I can't be influenced by, that I can't learn by, because I can't learn from, because that is my benefit. I learn from everybody around me. Everybody around me I'm gonna learn from, whether I know it or I don't, you know, whether it's unconscious or not, you know, because that's just what it is. When they say birds of a feather flock together, you know, you take away that, you take away the words, it's just realizing that you're gonna pick up the habits of the people around you. So you have to be extra careful with your energy there too, you know? So that's a really dope benefit. Like I learned from King every day in this house that we've been here for 4 months, quarantined together, city to city, state to state. You know, we've been working through this. Like I've learned from every single dancer in this house, every single choreographer in this house, you know, as we've been doing this. So like learning is an everyday process from every single person. You know, that's a benefit right there.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely, man. And what you just said, it's basically having a growth mindset. That's one of the biggest thing about our platform. We continue to reiterate that we want to have a growth mindset, because when you have that type of mindset, you're always going to learn and improve.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
So
Yes, sir.
I got a question. So growing up, did each of you guys have like a favorite dancer you kind of like looked up to, you know, because right now, you know, you have a younger generation looking up to you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are very inspirational. Who did you guys look up to, you know, coming up?
You know, it's wild. It's wild. So I looked up to actually Ninja White. Ninja White is a dancer from Jamaica, from Whiteout Dancers, Whiteout Squad. And he happens to even be in our dance crew now, which is wild. So I would look at his dance videos every single day, like in like the mid 2000s, like 2007, 2008. I'd have my iPod, you know, that was before it wasn't uncool, you know. So I just had that big iPod. I was watching videos every day, hundreds of times, thousands of times, hundreds of thousands of times. I'm not exaggerating, like back to back hours and hours, because I love the energy he would exert and the way that he would dance and the way that he would move and the way he put together the combos. So, you know, I would always dance with that same energy and that same briskness, also with the same fluidity as well in it. So that's who I looked up to, beyond looking up to just being influenced by everybody. The person I say I would like really look at, like research, I was looking at Ninja White.
Hey, Wendell, before you answer the question, I think the universe blessed you when you said you worked with Janet Jackson. I'm kind of hating. So was she your favorite dancer?
What you said?
Was Janet Jackson your favorite dancer? But answer the question, you know, same question.
like the favorite artist I dance for?
The favorite dancer.
Was she your favorite dancer, Janet Jackson?
Your influence. Who influenced you?
My influence.
Your favorite dance, or your person, you know, you like to mimic.
You better say Janet. You better say Janet.
So when I was growing up, I would watch. I had a friend. His name is Dominic. Well, he's still my friend, but he's like this older guy from the islands, from Grenada, and there was only on the island probably have like about 3,000 people in it. So out of everybody, it would only be like 2 or 3 dancers. Like that really, like they was about it. Like you see them at the party, they got it. So like I got the chance to meet him because when I was younger, living in Grenada, Carriacou, I was an amateur boxer, so I used to compete as well. So he was also a boxer too. So I would always see him dancing, and then eventually when we met, like I just learned a lot from him. And so I'll say it would be him first, and then my second influence there was this guy on YouTube. His name was Chris Chaos. That's when I was able to like get on the computer because I didn't have a computer. But I would watch his videos a lot because he was so versatile. Like he would be like doing all types of different hip hop sound. He'd do some breakdance stuff. He'll do like some crump. He'd do choreography. It was just it was different for me because like that was like besides Dominic and just watching those videos of Chris Chaos on YouTube. I wasn't really learning much about dancing. Besides and like as far as like really learning like watching them and learning from it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was the two.
Man, I thought you learned all the moves from me, man. Thank you.
Nah, you be pulling too many muscles, man. You be pulling too many muscles.
So as I coming back to my question, and we got on the topic of having a good vibe and meeting people. So as again, how did you two meet? How did you guys connect?
We were it's funny, so we were both separately booked for a show at BMCC. This was like in like 2000, like what, like
I think 2000 and well, I'll tell you. I graduated high school. Like 2009, 2010,
maybe 2010ish, 11.
Yeah,
like 10ish.
I'm gonna confirm it on YouTube right now.
Yeah. So
that's how much partying they've done, man. The party life.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah, I millions of parties. Yeah, but we met there, and I remember actually because we were both walking in. They were coming from the stage. He was with his dance group, Flavor Expressions.
Yeah.
He was with Flavor Expressions, and they were walking underneath and I was walking to go to the stage, and they stopped me, and then we had a conversation. It was just like, yo, like I recognized them, they recognized me. It was just like, yeah, love and just energy, just good energy. I mean, you can tell the story differently because you were actually in the other side of it.
Oh yeah.
But for me, it was just like really cool to just walk and to be stopped by like the group and stuff like that, and just to get all that energy and that love, and to meet them and to meet his group, and now we're brothers, we're living together. I mean, we've been around the world together. Like we've been in different countries together. We went through so much. So it's lit how one little meeting is just like, well, that goes back to energy. That'll be a deeper conversation.
Okay.
7 years ago.
All right.
Now this question will throw you guys off a little bit.
Let's see. Dun, dun, dun.
Right. I'm waiting.
Why are movie stars considered cool?
Movie stars are considered cool because we vicariously live our lives through them.
No, because they got too many fans.
Oh, this guy. And he came back with that question again.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, man. I had to mute him. I gotta mute him, okay?
You're on timeout. So far, you put him on timeout, man. Like,
yeah, I know he had to throw in a joke, man. He had to throw in a joke.
Oh man.
Hey guys, gotta break the ice, man.
Oh man.
On that note, we're gonna go to a commercial. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
Hey, and when we come back, you can really answer it like you were doing.
Love you.
Founding Players is dedicated to educating and motivating each member. The emphasis of our program is to provide opportunities that encourage the pursuit of happiness, achievements, and a sense of commitment, and the development of personal character for children and young adults that otherwise might not have a chance to grow to their fullest potential. Our founding players are Jules Jasmine, Palm Beach Atlantic University; Jacoby Neath, Wake Forest University; Xavier Smith, Palm Beach University; Nicholas James, Palm Beach University; Dexter Dixon, FAU University; Joseph Chua, FAU University. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Here at Founding Players.
Yes, sir. Welcome back. I told the joke. No, go ahead. You can
It's all funny.
Yes, sir. Hey, I do that one. Threw you guys off a little bit.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Don't worry. We got it. We go through this many times with him, so it's normal.
We're used to it.
So next time you guys could get a piece of it when we have our game nights, so you guys could be on with us.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to invite you guys onto our game nights.
Yeah.
Hey.
Come up with ask a few questions.
Yeah, and speaking of our game nights, guys, you know, what we do is we try to bring, you know, friends and family together and just come. It started out as Family Feud, but then we're teaching financial literacy. So then Rod over here started really asking some nice financial questions, you know, and it just worked itself out. So now we're really educating people with our questions, you know. So yeah, you're definitely welcome, you know, to come and join us whenever we're doing that game show. It's becoming more and more interesting.
And guys, the prizes are, they usually get credit on their phone in the Caribbean, and we all know who runs, you know, the phone companies in the Caribbean. We're all under the same umbrella. So anybody from any island that wins, you know, they get the credit on their phone. That's the prizes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Digicel's killing it out there.
Funny. Yeah.
Are you guys coming? Are you guys on Digicel right now? Because you know what Beanie Man and Bounty did.
All right. So we have Mr. Marv on our line right now. Marvin is a karate teacher out of North Carolina, and he has a question for you.
Okay.
Oh, Marvin. Okay.
Nice to meet you.
I'm just broken up. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
How are you?
What's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
We're well. How's the situation in North Carolina?
So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh man, North Carolina's cool. We're doing all right. You know, there's
Look like
We just lost you for a second. What's going on?
Look like he froze.
Yeah. You need to upgrade to Digicel, man. What's going on?
Yeah, he don't have Digicel.
I just got off the Wi-Fi, so I'm on Verizon. I should be much better than Digicel, I hope.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think North Carolina is doing a little bit better than Florida, so I can hold my head up to that. So you know we're doing with that.
Crazy there.
But I did want to know, did you guys have any classical training? Because I got here late, so I didn't get a chance to hear anything. I know you guys are dancers, but have you had any classical training or anything for like pursue beyond kind of being an enthusiast?
Well, I haven't had like a lot of years because of training, but I had a few years of ballet, temporary. I tried some jazz. I did a little bit of tap as well. Flamenco, salsa, bachata, a little bit of So just because I went to a program where they were offering free classes. So I was there just back to back every class because I never had the opportunity to take classes at a young age. So since everything I did was freestyle, when I discovered that program, it's called The Door. It's in New York City where they help a lot of underprivileged kids, homeless kids, all of that. So my friend told me about the program, and I went there like 2 summers straight. Like, not 2 summers straight. I started the summer of 2012, and then from there I went like for 2 years straight, like every week, 5 days a week. because that's when
Do
I
you
just
find-
I just graduated high school and yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that you utilize any of those different styles in your freestyle dance? Do you pull elements from some of your previous learnings?
Oh, definitely, because I'm also a b-boy, so like a lot of the technical styles definitely help me understand my body, a lot more, and it helps me to like just balance and just do all the crazy stuff that I do. Because I mean, I don't know how much videos you've seen or how much edit has shown you so far, but each video is always like different. So I definitely like try my best to just pull from each. If it's not choreography, even with choreography, sometimes whether it's a certain aesthetic or just a certain texture that I would get from one style, I try to apply it to another style and just see how I can just do all that.
And that is us.
I got one more question. I'm not gonna hijack the interview. So, so when did you guys realize that that you guys wanted to do this more than just dancing? Like, when did you guys realize you wanted to pursue this and take it to another level? Or at what point did you realize you could take it to another level?
Marvin, you took my question. I'm mad at you now.
Oh man,
Hey, we like taking things from each other. That's education right there.
Yeah.
All right,
Another joke.
So to answer your question, for me, when I first realized it was like I was very shy in the beginning. I was very, very shy. I made a lot of friends, but only when the connection was already there. Like even now, it's not really crazy for me to go out on the street, like, walk up to a girl, and just be like, "Hey, hi, how are you? What's your number?" Like I'm very intimate with energy. So I never really wanted to go out in circles and dance like that. I just love dancing, but just love doing it. So it was about 2006. I went to a backyard party in Canarsie, my cousin's backyard, New Kingston. Their reggae group in Brooklyn. So I was in their backyard party, and I remember this moment. I actually was in the party and I was moving and I was dancing, and then all my childhood, New Kingston, like I DJ'd with them as well. I used to DJ as well, so we used to have a sound called New Kingston Sound. So like all my childhood, they would play parties, and we'd go into the parties, and then I'd dance, and they'd see me dancing, and they'd love it. Their father, Courtney Penton, he gave me the name Blacka, so I grew up with them as well. I'd go into the party, and then they'd push me in the center and be like, "Yo, big up Blacka the dancer, just flying from Japan." And this is like, yo, I've never even been to Japan yet, like right now. They loved and supported me so much that they just wanted everybody to look at me in that moment and just push me out and be like, "Yo, look at him, And it got to the point where we'd go to parties together, and I would ask them like, "Yo, when you going on? When you playing?" And they'd be like 2 o'clock. And I look at the time, and it was like 1:59. I would have to use the bathroom. So I would be in the bathroom while they were playing, because I know during their set, they would always call me out and would terrify me to dance in front of a crowd. It would terrify my soul, and they would be on the microphone. So at this party, in this backyard party in 2006, I remember I was in there and I was dancing and moving. And then I was in the center because it was just like regular, it's a regular scene. I'm dancing. And then I remember they got on the microphone and said, "Yo, big up Blacka the dancer, we're just flying straight from Japan. Everybody look at him dance right now." And then everybody looked into the center, right? And then I looked around, I tried to walk out, and the circle closed in on me. And I was like, well, what is this, 200? So now I'm just in the center, and then the music starts playing, and then I'm just like, everybody's just bright-eyed and looking at me and smiling like, "Well, what are you gonna do from Japan?" And I'm just standing there, and I'm like, "Bro, you got no choice, bro. Give it your all." So I just started just doing whatever my soul said and soul felt, and moving and dancing, and my eyes are closing down, and I look up, and everybody's just looking and smiling and like, "Woo!" and losing their like whole mind, and just like, "Wow, you like what I do?" Like, so in that moment was actually, I've actually never really told this story like live and stuff like that. That was the actual moment that my soul found happiness through the understanding that, yo, bro, you could do it. You know what I mean? In that one moment, and those people will never understand what they did for me then, by closing me in and forcing me to dance and then looking at me and then smiling, you know, and then just like honestly piggybacking off of that, that's why just a simple gesture as happiness or just gratitude can go such a long way, because you never know what gratitude can mean for that person in that moment, like a smile, like, wow, great job. You know, you're dope, you're fire. You know, it takes nothing to give. We were born with hands, not pockets, you know? So that was like the defining moment for me.
Yeah, the universe smacked you right there. It told you where you belong, bro. You got smacked with the Holy Ghost.
That was live. That was my quarantine back then. Quick facts.
The universe blessed you that time, like right there. Here's it. That's what you're gonna be doing in your future. That's what
listen
you
to
do.
life. Life will lead.
Good thing you didn't have to use the bathroom when they closed you in.
Hey,
that would have been awkward.
Ed, remember, if you were listening to the story, he said he just came from the bathroom.
And that's why I said, good thing he didn't have to use the bathroom then.
Well, hold on. Unless he was drinking a lot of liquor that night, that's the only way he would have had to go back.
Or that Guinness and
nah, that's not. But that's not true though. That's not true though. Because you know what, you could have butterflies, and you know a lot of times when you have butterflies, you have that sensation like you feel like you got to go to the bathroom, and it's just your nerves, you know. So, I mean, that's a reality that I think we've all faced, you know, dealing with stuff.
Yeah.
All right, Marv, you just messed up the whole thing.
Yeah, he just killed it.
Man, listen, you're corny. I couldn't tell if you were telling a joke or what you were doing. So.
Hey, you see how we flexing here, right? We just have fun, man. We just have fun.
All right, so now I'm gonna get down to it, the business side of it. Yeah. So I know you started a whole family of dancers, and you called it the Dancer Family, right? Correct?
Yes.
So we explained the Dancer Family and the classes that you guys put on, and introduce it to the audience right now, and explain what you guys do and how you could reach out to you, and both of you actually.
Well, Dancer Family is a group that we're both in. It's a group that I created in 2016, I believe. And to be honest, it was a group that I created because I found no more real satisfaction or joy or point in just doing something for myself. You know, it's just like I got to a point in my career, because I've had a very successful career thus far that I'm very grateful of. I'm very grateful for every success and failure. I've had a very successful career to the point that I came to a realization for me, myself, a self-realization that success isn't what you do for yourself, but it's what you do for others. Because what you do for yourself is a have to. You know, I have to eat every day. I have to have a place to sleep. I have to do these things. So if I want to do these things, be comfortable, I have to become successful. That's a must do. But to put yourself in a position to help put somebody else in a position to be successful, that's not a have to for your survival. It's a have to for human civilization. It's how I believe it should be. So I got to a point where I realized maybe some other people could benefit off of my name more than me. You know what I mean? Maybe some people can benefit off of the work more directly, more than me. You know, maybe I can learn from some people around me. Maybe we can all just grow together. Let's try it. Because I never liked dance crews. I never joined dance crews. People ask me to be in a million dance crews, and they always feel offended when you say no.
That's true. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's not personal. It's just like we're the thing about Dancer Family is we're all super independent, like crazy. King is his own brand on his own. I am my own brand on my own, and so is every single dancer in Dancer Family. Like King does his. Like it's Dancer Family is more of a platform that became just family, and now it's what you are and what you do, except for the dance community. You know, like we're 16 deep around the world. We have dancers in Europe, you know, Brazil. We have France. We have Belgium. We have Sweden. We have dancers here in LA and just in New York and literally Canada, Jamaica. Grenada, all over the world, you know what I mean? So what it really is, Dancer Family is a platform that, you know, we created. Nelly, big up Nelly Dancer. Nelly Dancer came up with the name Dancer Family. She came up with that name. Big up Nelly. Hey. And yeah, we've been doing it for a few years now. And then over the past few years through the Dancer Agency that we are part of, know if you're aware, but I also own and run a talent agency. Also, we do marketing services, so we market for record labels, both major and indie. Like we just actually did the last campaign for Buju Banton and Tory Lanez on the Rock Nation for Trust. So we're working with major record labels. We're working with minors. We're working with everybody that needs help promoting something. You know, so I guess like the biggest thing is like what we do and who we are is just giving. You know what I mean? I mean, King could tell you his part, but you're always just gonna hear the same reiteration from me. Give. You know what I mean? That's who we are.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
But
Real
even
good.
with the whole joining crew as well, like when Black approached me about it, like he met me when I was out of the crew.
Hold on, we got
And
a
after that, I was just like, all right, I'm done with it.
we have a little technical difficulty. Hold on a second.
You guys are breaking up a little.
Yeah, you guys,
You sound good now, I guess.
Is that enough?
Can you see us and hear us now?
Yep, we're good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like over the years we'd see each other at the parties or at different shows, but you know, I was with another crew and I just wasn't really into the whole crew vibes after that. But then when he approached me, and he saw me at an audition for a theater show, and after that, then we ended up like really like starting to build and work and meet each other. And then he was like, "Yo, like."
Let me tell you how I'm at this audition, because he's just making it sound like it's just an audition. So he's auditioning and I'm judging and I'm looking at all the dancers. So I look down on the paper and I'm like judging like the last person. I look up and he's down like Spider-Man. Like I'm just like, what just happened? Like he just appeared like Nightcrawler, just poof, right? I don't know what kind of role that was in it you did, but that's how I seen you at the audition. I'm like, and I'm like, okay, what's next? Where did he come from? Bro, I did not see him.
Crazy, bro.
See?
I got a question. You guys, you know, Blocka, you said it earlier in the beginning that, you know, like partying, you know, is like, and dancing is like, you know, your career and your job. Where can I apply? Where can people apply? Where partying is your job.
Man, it is a job. It definitely is a job. And yeah, you know what I mean? Like it is and isn't a job at the same time. Like it isn't a job because you love it, but it is a job because you love it. You know, it's just like just like any relationship, you know, with whether it be with your partner, your wife, you know, God, anybody else, it's a job to upkeep. You know what I mean? So you can apply anywhere within the confines of the self. Really, and we can all just find that. And yeah, it's when you find your passion and you find yourself is one of the greatest blessings that you could ever realize in this life. Like everything else becomes, you know, so unnecessary, and everything that is necessary becomes so, you know, exponentially important, you know, and it gives you such a bigger sense of direction, and gives this drive that you just don't understand, and it gives this driving force that you just don't, you don't know where it's coming from, but you know where you have to go, and you know you have to get there quick, but because you know you have a message to deliver, you know. So like diving deep into self is just so important, because like, I mean, for me, the messages are everywhere, you know. Let's think of any religion, regardless of what you believe in, you know, we're made in the image of the creator, you know. So like, wouldn't our answers be inside? You know, we're so taught to go look so outwardly for everything when everything is inside. We're not born handicapped. We're not born without everything we need, you know. Sometimes you meet people in life that awaken those things inside of you. You know, it's always like an awakening, you know, it's always like it came to my mind. You know, it's like things are attracted to you, you know, attract, never chase. So I guess just attract, never chase, bringing in, looking to self, everything inward to outward, you know, that's the cycle. Inward, outward. Is that clockwise? No, it's counterclockwise. Yeah. But yeah.
That was a very powerful message, man. A lot of it comes from within. A lot of times people look on the outside when their power and the message is coming from within, like the same, you know, story you told when it happened, you know, what happened to you at that party, you know. So
we're seeds. That's why they keep trying to bury us, because everything happens within. They didn't realize when they try to bury us that we're seeds, so we keep growing stronger.
Very powerful message, bro. Appreciate that.
I appreciate y'all.
Right. All right.
And I wanted to touch on the topic at hand, business moves. Ed is very passionate about you guys, and that's a blessing. Since I've known Ed and been his friend for years, he's always been passionate about the things that, you know, people that he might meet, and he talks about them a lot. I've always known him. You know, I never met you guys before, but when Ed told me that you guys were coming on, you know, he's very good at promoting those who he loves, you know, and I want you guys to know that. And he definitely love you guys because, you know, when he came to me, and it was like, hey, I'm going to bring him on. And then he was like, hey, what should the topic be? And I'm saying, hey, guess what? And I was sleeping too. I was sleeping. He called me, what should the topic be? And I'm like, man, at this time you want me to think about a topic? You know? So I'm sleeping and I'm like, you know what? We're making moves, you know, because that's what our platform is about. We're making moves. Then he sent me, you guys dance. Well, I'm like, dang, they're making moves too. So then I was like, Ed, business moves, you know, so it's kind of funny. That's how we came up with, you know, business moves.
That's
you know, yeah. So I mean, great minds think alike, and just having the right people around you, it so help you to put things together, and things fall in place based off of who you have around you. And when I saw you guys dance, I was just like, yo, they making moves. Well, guess what? They making business moves. You know?
Yeah.
So I want to touch on that topic because in a relationship, a lot of people don't treat it like it's a business, not a literal business, but if you act as if you are coming up, or if you come up with a plan, like normally in a business, you got to have a plan. So you got to have a plan for your relationship. You got to have a plan for your business. You got to have a plan for your life. How do you guys feel about that? Just treating things like it's very important to you, like you would treat your business or your moves that you're coming up with for your dance routines. How do you guys feel about that in general?
You know, I think that's, you know, it's important because you know, based on like okay, when you have your business, right, or like let's say you're doing any type of business, you know, based on what type of relationship you have can affect, you know, if your business grows or if it, you know, it plummets, you know. So just being diligent and you know, making sure you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's for your business stuff, whatever structure you have within that, I think it can help just with in relation to like just a relationship with somebody, but certain things are still a little bit different. But I think, you know, how you treat the business, a lot of it can help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I just feel, because I know like in a relationship it's different because now you gotta deal with emotions, and you know that's like a number one thing that in business sometimes you kind of don't really deal with that, or you try to not, you know. I don't know. I'm just speaking from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever I'm doing this, I don't make it an emotional thing. You know, if it's against my morals, and that's something different. But as far as just me making a decision based off of emotion, and yeah, that's that factor of you know, a relationship with somebody. I think that's what it kind of gets like different for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, oh shoot, can you hear me? Are we good?
Yeah, we're hearing you guys. It's a little bit technical difficulties, but you know, just keep going.
Yep.
Let's see if we could.
Let me see if I could just change this Wi-Fi thing,
or maybe if Tara nobody downstairs, maybe we should go next.
I don't want to lose you.
Oh.
I think he's gonna switch it over to
One second.
Digicel. He's gonna switch it to Digicel real quick.
We gotta switch it, I love the plug. Yeah.
I was gonna try to find out what we could do to get Savon to audition.
Audition for what?
For a spot, man.
What did
I would love to see. I would love to see Savon audition for a spot. Yo, Savon used to have all the moves back in the day. Yo, he used to have a two-step, a mean two-step. Yo,
two-step, two left foot step.
Two left feet, huh?
Hey, stop hating. Didn't you hear him say, yo, once you're from the island, you could dance? Stop hating, bro.
I just gave you props. Yo. I didn't give you props. I just gave you props.
No. I wasn't talking about you, Marv. I'm talking about Rod and Ed.
Oh man.
Hey, Blanca, don't get his hopes
so
up, man. You got his hopes. You got his hopes up, man.
Hey, tell them it's true what you said. Once you're from the island, you can move. It's just a matter of learning. That's it.
It's in our DNA, man. Okay, it's in our DNA. I believe you.
Exactly, man.
It's in our bloods.
Yeah.
Yeah, so getting back to the question real quick, Baka, if you want to give us your thoughts on that.
So my thoughts on it is I see two different perspectives on it. And it's just because I just get like a little meticulous with things, especially like thinking about it. There is the idea of treating a business as you're in a relationship and treating a business as you're in a relationship with the business. And I think that's what you were referring to. Treating it as a relationship, treating it through the turmoil. Like if the relationship was your wife and you have to take care of the relationship and take care of her and have to be with her, have a plan with her. Do you want to have, do we want to be married? Do we want to have kids? How many kids do we want to have? When we want to have kids is just like putting together a business plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, a 20-year plan. So I definitely understand that in relations to, because, we're going through that. I mean, just being frank, what's happened to our agency from March till now has just been as devastating as it's been for everybody else around the world, and we've treated it as a relationship. We didn't break up. We just moved out. Together, we moved into a home that we can afford, so it's just like learning that. And now we're in a relationship and it's just like, oh, we took our baby to LA, because your business is your baby. At the end of the day, your business is your baby, you protect your baby. And it's very important to understand and learn your baby and learn everything about your baby, how to keep your baby alive as long as you can. And as long as you're alive, your job is to protect your baby and keep the right people around you to protect your baby too, touching back to what we spoke about earlier. So that is super important. Everything is really interconnected. Relationships are relationships. Relationships are relationships. Love is love. All straight across. A word has a definition. It's the expectation that we put onto words that we change the connotation. We change it. We change it. But the word has a definition. And if we really truly just give the word the power that it has, because the power of the tongue is so important, and the gift of gab is so important. It's so important. If we just unlock that, because I guess it goes into words of power. It goes into just understanding that words are truly power. And then I guess I'd like to share this with y'all because it's just some cool things that I've been learning along this journey. And are you aware of the word abracadabra, the meaning of it?
Just that magic, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we all know it as, magic, abracadabra.
Okay, so and this is the both beautiful and devastating part about what they do to history and to knowledge for us. They take knowledges and they fantasize it so that we lose the power in understanding it. Because if words are power, then they're going to hide power. They're not going to give out power for all of us to have, and let us understand that. Abracadabra is actually meaning I create as I speak. It is an old language that's coming from the Semitic language. So abracadabra means I create as I speak. Now, when you look at the old fantasies and the magic books, you have your magic wand and you read out of a book. So you read out of the words and you say it out loud. And as you spelling words, cast a spell, and what do? They read the words and you say abracadabra. I create as I speak. Now you take the finger and you fantasize that and you take it and lengthen it and turn it into a wand. Wow. And now abracadabra, magic. I create as I speak. You can look it up. I believe it's Semitic. It's coming from, I can't remember the name right now of the exact language of the people, but it is a Semitic language. So that is going back into understanding the true power of words. Now, if a relationship is a relationship, and you treat a relationship as a relationship, then you can only truly unlock the powers of that relationship, and the benefits of that relationship is when you understand it. It's the same thing with financial literacy. We're trying to be literate about our finances so we can unlock the powers of the finances itself. So it goes into the words that we use, understanding and just locking in to the meaning of that word and placing that meaning and putting it places and not changing it to bend it for our own benefit because of what we want to get from it instead of what we want to give to it. So treating a relationship like a relationship, loving a relationship like you love a woman, like you love your partner because of the definition of love. Love is patient, love is kind, and using that and getting into that. It's like these conversations get so much deeper because the way that we act with our intentions and our actions, it actually is truly powerful.
Wow.
Yes.
You saw how excited Ed. Did you see how excited Ed got?
Hey,
Yo,
listen.
That was the same feeling I had when I showed my partner Rod when we had the Freckon logo and I threw it to the floor, and I always said that the word has power. The
True
word
story.
has power. So yeah, I threw it to the floor and I was like, look at that. Just look at that.
No, I didn't look at it. I looked at you like, why'd you just throw that on the floor? What's going on here?
Right. That was my aggro. That was mine.
And
that was mine. I was like, bam.
Okay, I see
it. Right.
Abracadabra, Rod. Abracadabra.
That was it at the time when we came up with it, right? Because I know the word has a meaning, but we took that word and we made it more powerful. And what people don't understand that, it's not just a word that we use to be fresh, but we turn the word around to be a positive thing, to be fresh and cool, and to be who you are. So that's what the word is, and we want it to be a word that stands out, and it's been standing out, from not even us doing anything, and it just happens. So, and that's what we give in the power to the word, and you're saying your names, Blacka and King Kayak, is powerful, and you guys are spreading your joy and love for what you're doing around the world, and I respected that from the beginning. So, and I'm humble and still pleased that I'm still in contact with you guys, and you guys always showed me love, and as much as I showed you love. So, I'm happy.
I wanted to add to that.
Thank you.
I just want to say abracadabra. I'm sorry, Ryan.
No, go ahead, continue.
I was just saying, he's right. I will create as I speak. It's a Hebrew meaning for abracadabra. That is so true. And it's deep.
You're very.
Yes.
Everything else they try to hide from us.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
We got to get deeper into the Bible.
Very true. What I wanted to add was, you guys are like inspiring, I know you guys are followers like globally. So I'm very happy for you guys. But my question is, since you guys are inspiring people like every corner of the planet, but how does it feel when you go back home to the island, when people coming up to you, how you're inspiring them to let them know and show them anything is possible coming from an island, like, we could do anything,
And before you answer that, I want to include the foundation that you have in the islands too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, and I just spoke a lot, so maybe you should go next.
No, listen, man. So I went back home for the first time in 2008 in December, and then that was like it was just a random thing. So something that I didn't really let people know much about me. So I was an illegal immigrant at first for a couple of years, but I was like, I was still in school and everything and just getting everything together. And the moment I got my stuff together, I was like, cool, now I can finally travel, go back home, see my friends. Because initially I wasn't supposed to be here because my dad's thing with all his kids, because he has mainly boys, is you graduate in the Caribbean and then you go elsewhere. because the education system is different. So fast forward to I reached like this was the year after Janet Jackson, or the same year as Janet Jackson. Yeah. Because for years they would see me posting little things, whatever. But it was that's the beginning stages. As soon as like they saw that we did the Janet Jackson music video, and I went back home. I actually wanted to go back home so bad because I haven't been there for like 8 years. So I finally just booked a ticket randomly and I went home. And then as soon as I got there, like the amount of interviews I had to do, the amount of like I went to visit different schools, and even before I went back, I told myself I was like I want to go home, I want to do something, just like positive for the people as well. So I did a fundraiser, and I actually donated to my elementary school, just to help the kids, get their books together, if they need any type of furniture, I don't know, whatever the money could get to help the kids out. And just meeting everybody and just the response, like I couldn't really believe, like, like you guys are treating me like I'm some type of, like people. These are people that I grew up with too. I mean, now they have their children, their nieces, nephews, whatever. They remember me from growing up over there. So it's really humbling, and it's just amazing to know that, you can, like I said, words are powerful, and whatever you say, is very, very, very powerful. Because for years as a child, I was just always competing in little talent shows. And I didn't get to tell you guys this, but initially, like, all right, I always danced, but initially I was doing a talent show as a singer. Until one year, I was about to win. Then I made one mistake with the lyric, and I stopped singing. I walked off the stage. I was so upset. Like everybody was like, "Why did you walk off?" And after that, I vowed to just never, ever, ever to like mess up like that on stage again. But then I stopped singing, and then it went into the dance.
Sound like a Savant story.
Oh,
But I still.
Oh, really?
Man.
Hey,
Savant, tell him you still singing.
Hey, check this. I'm a abracadabra through this Zoom.
I knew you would have a comeback.
But yeah, man, it's definitely very, very humbling. And I'm still young, so to experience that, like to know that I'm now the source of inspiration to others that I was looking for when I was their age. Like it's amazing.
Blessing.
Yes, sir.
That's great.
It's cool.
Hey, you guys got a good bond, man. It's a wonderful thing whenever you can get together, and do the dance moves that you guys do, man. Because you have a friendship, you have a bond there, And you guys ever get mad at each other?
We probably got annoyed, but it's always never like personal. It's always like things that we have to get done. Like
that's like getting annoyed with people. Period.
Yeah.
Not even and like just annoyed with another person's habits. Like or in a mode you're just in a mood and you're just annoyed and that person just tricks it up and it's not even about them at all. It's just but as far as just like angry, just like having to argue or not, never. What I mean? Communication is like we just talk.
Yeah, we have a lot of respect for each other.
Yeah.
We don't talk at each other. We talk to each other, and this goes for like all of us in the house too. Like we never trying to come at anybody. It's always like, I feel this way, but I still respect you. But this is how I feel.
Like even recently, like last week, what I mean, there was something that happened that annoyed him, and that I did, and he just communicated it, and I was respect. Simple, what I mean. So that's just the way that we live and we learn.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, Block, you need to answer the same question. When you went back home, when did you realize it was really happening, or what's it like, going back home to Jamaica and inspiring the people down there?
I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn, so going back home to me is going to Crown Heights. But my parents are from the islands. And so for me, it's just like my inspiration when I go to the islands, anywhere in the islands. When I go, because my parents were from Trinidad, and I was also raised by Jamaicans as well, New Kingston and Courtney Panton and my aunt and them. They're a high inspiration in my life. What I mean? Just always being raised and just dual households and just being there around everybody. So it's just like being from Brooklyn. That's what I represent. And I always say Brooklyn, New York, because I'm that first generation that's lucky enough for my mother to be an immigrant from the islands to go up to America and, you know, be a representation of just transferring over and just, you know, continuing on and just pushing out our culture everywhere. So like when I go to Jamaica and I'm there, it's a blessing because it's just like I'll walk into the bank and people will stop me and see me. You know, I'm walking down the street, people stop me. It's just like, yo, I'm in Jamaica. I was born in Brooklyn, but I'm in Jamaica. You know what I mean? And because I dedicated my whole life to Jamaica, and I will continue to do that. You know what I mean? Because dancehall culture is my everything, and that's just what it is. You know, so when I'm there and people can just stop me and just like, yo, I didn't grow up here. You know what I mean? But you recognize me, or when I go to Trinidad, and people see me, or even when I'm in Brooklyn and people see me, you know, the best thing about that is, yes, you can do it too. You know what I mean? I look just like you. I come from a situation just like you. You know what I mean? I grew up in the ghetto just like you. You know what I mean? But my mother worked hard just like yours. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna make my life great just like you can too. So I guess the biggest takeaway from when people stop you is like, it's working. You know what I mean? Like that part about it is fire. Like, I mean, yeah, it definitely warms my heart. Like for real. Like even like 2 years ago, like I literally was in the bank exchanging money in JCMB. I was in the bank and I was there. Which bank? I don't remember which bank I was in. And it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just a dope feeling because we do it because we love it. So when somebody else recognizes you for doing what you love, it's just like, wow, you had no reason to. I wasn't doing this for you to stop me in the street. I wasn't doing this for you to say, can I take a picture with you? So the fact that you are, it's just like, man, it's like, why would we ever stop? You know what I mean? Why would we ever stop doing this? Why would we ever stop giving if people are receiving? It doesn't make sense.
That's pretty dope.
All right. So on that note, we're gonna take a little break, and we'll be back with some more questions. And I think I have some audience from IG wants to ask some questions as well.
Yeah, awesome.
But you know, my question when we get back is, I want to know some of the dances that you guys made up. and your singing career. All right, so we'll be back.
All right.
And I want to see some.
I appreciate all board member. I appreciate every member. I appreciate all the sponsors. And I appreciate all my contributors. And I appreciate all the spectators. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for your support to Founding Players, where it's foundation first.
Let's go. Uzi verse. You better move. That was before I had internet. Ooh, you better move. 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 Louis my shoes. Pull out my whip on 22s. I saw your girl. I had the scoop. Just like a bird. She gonna swoop. Neck is hot too. Might catch the flu. Banana clip. Straight from the zoo. I'm like, mother goose. If I say shoot, they gonna shoot. No, I'm not sweet. I just got flavor. Don't need no water to mix up this juice. They say why your chain it look like a choker. That's for the slaves that had to wear the noose. No, you can't cuff me, baby, let me loose. The way that I live, baby, that's a rule. Matching closet, it came with a pool. Bro moving 8 bars, not no pool. If you ask me his name, then I don't have a clue. Whoa, make him hit the phone.
Control it. Dun, dun, dun. You got to move. Yeah, you got to move. That's dope.
Hey, before Ed asks his question, I got a little jokey joke.
There you go.
Lord of mercy.
Boy.
Lord of mercy.
All right, here we go.
Lot of mercy. Hear the snow. All right. Where do cows go for their holidays?
The movies.
Come on, you guys can answer that. Huh?
The movies.
Movies?
Did they get it? Did they
Did you get it?
Yo, that's a good one, but that's not the answer. Yo, it's New York.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. You should have just said, yeah, that was a good answer and left it alone.
Way better than what
I like, yes, I like the first one. It was better.
No, but the thing is, I agree with that. That's why I started laughing so hard. Because that answer was actually better.
Whoever wrote that joke, man, write him that, Blacka and Wendell had a better answer than what he came up with.
All right. Thank you. So Blacka and King. So I want to hear some of the moves that you guys.
Good one, Ed. Moves.
You better move.
I like that.
Wow.
Yes.
I've created a few dance moves in Dancer Family that we teach and we teach globally. I have a dance called Born Bad. It looks like this. I have a dance that I created called Laugh and Shot Them. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. I have a dance move. Actually, one of my favorite dance moves that I created is called Good Vibes. And the reason I created this dance move, actually, this dance move saved my life in a very real way. It saved my life because I was depressed and I was suffering from depression, something that we don't talk about a lot, and I think we should. I was suffering from depression, and it was actually like self-inflicted. And to be honest, just from my experience, I've kind of just realized like, most of the time, what we tell ourselves, now we take things in and we just keep falling deeper and deeper into those thoughts and finding power within self, kind of just like when you own the problem, you own the solution. So when I created that dance move, I was in a place where I felt like I was completely alone in the world, even though millions of people know me and they love me and, that's cool. But, it got to a point where it felt like every conversation was about what they can get from me. Hey, how are you? And then, can you post my class? Hey, how are you? Can you follow me back? Hey, how are you? Can you post this? You know what I mean? It was never a genuine, how you doing? You know what I mean? So it got to the point where I just started feeling like only a tool and I'm a human being, so that's why reciprocation is so important. So when that happened, I was actually on tour and it was in 2017, November 2017. And like, it was really extreme. I deleted myself from the dance group, from the dance agents, from the Dancer Family WhatsApp groups that I created. You know what I mean? I just said, I'm alone in this world. I wasn't mad at everybody. I was just disappointed in everybody, but now I understand it was really me being insecure about myself and not really attacking the things I should have. So I had fell into this very deep depression. I didn't speak to anybody for days. I felt like nobody even cared, even if they asked us, because, we just need you back or some shit. It just felt like that. So I was laying down on the floor every day crying in Brussels. My manager and my brother, Decho, he was there and he'd wake up in the morning and walk by. And he would like see me there and, I'd just be laying there crying, just like nobody cares. And then I'd leave my phone right there. I deleted Instagram, deleted everything. And I'm just like, my phone isn't even lighting up because nobody needs something from me. So after the first day, just laying there all day and not eating and just falling deeper and deeper into it. And every time my phone would light up, it'd be a notification from an update. It'd be an email. It'd be so depressing. So I just pushed myself deeper and deeper into it because here I was putting more expectations onto people that they still don't realize they have to live up to, which I started to realize about life, putting expectations on people that you never communicate and they don't even realize they have to live up to it. So now they disappointed you because they never even did what they even knew that you even had them in mind for them to do. So then you start blaming them and saying, they even hit me up. Did you say, hey, can I talk to you today? Or they didn't call me back on time. Did you say, hey, this is urgent? As the communication is key. And that's what I learned through this dance move. It's all gonna connect. So the second day, I'm laying down and I'm just crying. And I'm just like, nobody cares. And I'm just laying there. I think like 1 or 2 people called, if that, out of the hundreds of thousands of people that love me, So it's just like, wow, this is crazy. And I realized that, Blacka, what are you gonna do? You gonna keep laying here on the floor? Or are you gonna get up and take yourself up? Because you didn't 24 hours on by. this another 24 hours, you're just gonna be starving. So you're gonna lay down, or you're gonna get up. You're gonna give yourself the things you want, because here I am being aware of what I need. Here I am saying, oh man, I wish I had this. I wish I heard this. I wish I read this type of message. I wish somebody said this today. And it's just like, if you can know that that's what you need to get yourself in a better mood, then tell it to yourself. And that's what self-motivation is and self-talk is. And that's why I've realized there's so much power of self, is because I literally pulled myself out of depression while getting on planes. And I didn't care if it would have went down, because I just didn't care. At that point, it got so deep for me, so I had to create the energy that I was seeking. I had to create the vibe that I wanted. So I had to create a dance called Good Vibe. Now, in this dance move called Good Vibes, I was looking for happiness, looking for all this love when it was always right inside. And that lesson, and I'm so grateful that that lesson and that feeling of absence of people around me, it actually forced me to realize that every person I was keeping around me for happiness, it was just like, yo, bro, you were always happy. Because now in those moments where they weren't around and I wanted that happiness, then I blamed them for the lack of it. But it was never because they were there or not. It was always inside. So literally, and this is why moves and making moves is important, and the intention of the moves are so important, because we don't just create dance moves for no reason. We can just put out a whole glossary of it every day and monetize the whole volume, the book, and treat it like, like the hip hop app, treat it like something crazy. So Good Vibes is reaching out and receiving the blessings that life has to give you. So I'm reaching out, I'm receiving, I'm grasping it, and I'm to my core. Because in dancehall, our core is in our waist. So this heartbeat that happens here, we put it down to our waistline. And that's why our waistline is always moving, and our waistline is always dancing, and our waistline is always beating. So for me, where I get my gifts from and my power from is my core, because my core literally keeps me together, top to bottom. It allows me to walk, it allows me to sleep. So I receive that blessing. Now, as you receive blessings in life, what do? You give back. Now, if you're to give back, where do you give from? Your heart. So now you reach inside here and you give out. And in this dance move, it's not really a dance move for me. It's always a life lesson and a reminder to reciprocate the things you want, Blacker, to do it selfly, to do self, to care about yourself, to remember, to receive and to give, but also to keep that system for you. Receive love and give love to you. Keep that little system going. When I do that dance move, I think back to 3 years ago every single time, and I really get into it because it literally did. So when we do this dance move, it's remembering that every time we receive, that we give from our hearts. And if you're not giving from your heart, don't give at all. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for the person giving or the person receiving. So even as my shoulders go, being afraid, the shoulders drop, because you're not going to give. I'm not going to give to you and hold back. It's either I give or I don't. So what's the point of me giving? Like, I'm afraid to give this to you. It's either I'm going to make the decision or I'm not. So our shoulders drop, we step forward, and we give. So those are just a few of the dance moves that I created, and King can talk to you about some of the ones that he did.
Well, I don't necessarily have that much. I just have a few little vibes, and I don't have a story. I don't have much of a long story. It's just
I'll be over.
Now you good, because sometimes, like, even if, like, every time you ask a question, it gets to that, it's we're learning, man, because you're not just like talking about yourself. You're still you're still giving us, as you already giving us, you're giving us energy by talking. So, but you still drop, you're dropping little gems of information, and whoever really listens and picks it up, and they get that. Exactly. But so I created a dance move called Spice Rock. Looks like this. Ooh, hey. And Spice. I'm from the Spice Island. I'm Grenadian. I'm from Carriacou, so we full of spice, we full of sauce. So we got spicy.
Lou likes that. I can see Lou likes that.
Yeah.
Bad dance. Take over. Who did the music video?
We had Chris. We had Chris Brown did it in one of his videos.
What was that?
Ed want to be a singer now.
No, that wasn't me.
Who was that?
That was one of them.
Oh, I thought that was Ed. Okay.
You didn't even see my mouth move.
I was looking at you. It sounded like it was you.
You see the choreo Spice Rock. That just came out last year.
Oh, you just came out with that one?
No. I came out with that. That was like 2017.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And I have another dance. It's more footwork, but it's called Tricky. I haven't really posted much of it, but we practice and do it amongst each other. Another one that we both created actually. It's called this man has a song. We have a whole dance. We have the whole world dance. It's called Saucy. Yes, three of us. Blaka, King Kayak, Slip. Slip is our brother. He's in Italy right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the three of us were just vibing at a party, and we just.
We were in Italy. We were in Italy about a year ago, and we created the dance move that is called Saucy. That has went viral worldwide, and I have a song with Walshy Fire of Major Lazer about it. Big up Walshy, he just won a Grammy for the work on Choke. So that created together, and it's just about your swag. You know what I mean? It's about saucy. So it's like dripping out the sauce. So we're dripping out the sauce, dripping out the sauce. So we're dripping out the sauce. So your sauce is your swag, right? So if you're really swaggy and you're really saucy, then your sauce starts dripping everywhere. But you worked hard for your sauce, so you don't want to just make all the sauce just dripping, and anybody wouldn't work for it, just catch it, right? Anybody can just take some of your sauce, but they weren't with you shooting in the gym, so you have to make sure you just catch the sauce. So you go down, you catch it, you catch the sauce, and like eat.
You want to make? You're gonna make Dale move. I mean, Savon move right now.
I just let my sauce drip everywhere.
Hey, y'all see that hoop behind me? Don't talk about shooting in the gym.
Hey!
Yes.
Spaghetti, and like if you're gonna get spaghetti on the sauce and the spaghetti falls off the fork, how would you scoop up the spaghetti? You'd make this swiveling motion, right? So you're saucy. So sauce, swivel, catch, and make it drip, because you control your sauce. So your sauce not drip. You watch it. So
wow. Yo, you guys, saucy. Wow, that's amazing, man. Boy, let me tell you, man. What
Savon,
you guys
don't be trying
amazing.
to make no new dances now. Here's Savon talking about his sauce and he's scooping up stuff.
So, Savon's gonna ask us to make him a shirt that says saucy, you know?
No, I'm gonna make a fist and slap all of you. How about that?
Whatever.
Mm-hmm. That'll
Marvin,
be the
don't
dance
encourage
right
him,
there.
Marvin.
That'll
Don't
be the
encourage him to
dance.
go pull a muscle.
I gotta egg him on. I gotta egg him on all the time, man. This is you see how tight they are? That's how tight me and Savon are, man. I gotta push him. He gotta push me.
Yeah.
Hey, Marv, since you do your karate stuff, we could put dance moves together. You know what I'm saying? I'll box, you kick.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say is just wow.
Ed, go to a commercial. Ed, go to a commercial.
Hey, kickboxing moves. That'll be our dance.
Oh, man.
Or better yet,
All
kickbox
right.
and move.
All right. So
wow.
So my last question, unless someone has another question for.
Wait, we'll let you end it off, Ed. We'll let you end it off with your question. But let me ask them this, guys. Do you guys know Chris Grant?
I know of him, but I've never met him.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, Chris Grant is a friend of mine, so I figure you guys may know of him.
Okay.
Yeah. Just wanted to know because you guys, he danced as well. With Beyonce. He works with Beyonce.
That's dope. That's fire.
Yeah, just wanted to see if you guys knew him.
I got one last question before Ed ends the show. What is the hardest genre of dance to learn? And I noticed that Afrobeat just took off the last couple of years. And have you guys, done, work on Afrobeat, this and that? Because I know you guys are mostly like B-boy and, dance hall.
Everything,
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything.
Even though we like a lot of the times it's hard. We're in control of that because we know we post many dancehall stuff. But like we train in Afrobeat, like train Afrobeat. So we have an instructor here, Huli. We all lab and vibe together, learn from everything.
one thing that we learned from him, which is pretty cool, since we're on the topic real quick, because you know we always got to give, is like Afrobeats is the music and not the dance. So the dance would be Afro dance, and through Afro dance, the dance styles coming from Nigeria or Ghana or even Pansu in South Africa. So Afrobeat is the music genre, type of music, but it's not a type of dance at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we do.
You said Afrobeat is not a, or Afro dance is not a dance. You said I didn't catch that.
Afrobeat is the music. Afro dance is the main genre of dances, and Huli, like we have Huli here, who actually instructs on Afro dance, and has instructed us on that, because you have Azonto, which is a style, because Africa has so many different countries inside of it. So different things are from different countries, different dance styles. Azonto, then you have Coupe de Calais, and then you have like it's all coming from different places, but it's more accurately, just accuracy is just everything. It's more accurately known as Afro dance. It's just like people calling like dancehall reggae and stuff. We always want to make sure we protect other cultures the same way we protect our own.
Yeah, because if you
call
the right name, somebody else is gonna with a bigger following is gonna take it and just monetize it and just change up the whole. Well, it can change. It has potential to change up a whole culture.
Yeah, if somebody did that for dancehall, we'd fight.
But the thing is, they're all beautiful dancers, man. They're all beautiful dancers. So
definitely.
Yeah. Everything.
Very, you know.
We just give it because it was just because we learned from them recently. So it's just like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is the music. That's the dance. So it's just like.
Right. So I have a lot more questions, but I'm not gonna be asking you guys so much. So, because I just to go back, I just remember bringing my daughters to Wendell's class, and you know, sometimes you just got to bring the kids in, sometimes to know the cultures, and you know, see something different, because they usually just be on their phone and the YouTube and whatever all the time. So sometimes you just got to get them out, and I was happy to bring them out there because they still remember taking that class, you know, and I still got the videos too. But you know, this platform is all about the, you know, helping the kids, and I know you had that charity, and you said in Jamaica as well for the kids. So, you know, if you could go into that and tell us more about it.
Yeah, my charity in Jamaica is called the Little Dancer Program. I created that 2 years ago, 2017. 2017, that's when it launched. But I've been donating to the St. Martin de Porres Basic School in Gordontown in St. Andrew since 2013. The principal there, I've actually met her. I met her in Jamaica, but my mother and her were pen pals in the islands before I was born. So when my mother got older and they reconnected in my adulthood, you know, she was just like, "Hey, you're in Jamaica. Well, my son is a dancer." So at that time, I was just pushing my big gold dancer caps that, you know, was everywhere, which was actually handmade. You know, I'd sit down and make those hats, and it'd take about 15 to 30 minutes each with my team, or sometimes just me alone making hundreds, or that show, or Andrea in Italy. But anyway, going back to that was donating 10% of the sales from the hats to the St. Martin de Porres Basic School since 2013. In 2016, I got signed to Red Bull as the first dancehall choreographer on the history of our cultures and the history of the company. You know, they've only signed hip hop dancers, boys, girls, but they've never signed a dancehall choreographer to represent, you know, dance and fitness. So I got that blessing because that's received from the beautiful island of Jamaica. So in that moment of my life changing, and because of the culture of Jamaica, the culture of dancehall, then what I have to do now is give back. That's what I have to do, because love is what you give, not what you receive. You know, first is what you're giving. So I created the Little Dancer Program because I wanted to create that opportunity for kids like myself who didn't have the opportunity to learn dance styles when they were younger. I've only trained in dancehall, and I've taught myself everything. Or I've learned from friends around me, just parties, going to Jamaica, going to parties in the Bronx, YouTube, everything for the past 18 years, you know, so it's very beneficial for me having to do that, but I want to make things, just because I don't want to get distracted in the moment of, because I did that, then I got to make the next generation do it too. Sometimes a generation does something so that the next generation doesn't have to do it. you know, so that's why I wanted to create that system. So the Little Dancer program is, like I said, in St. Martin de Porres Basic School, it's in St. Andrew. We've been running it since 2013. We have about 50 kids. It turned into a community program. We have 3 different schools. Kids are aged from 2 to 6. We make our shirts for the program at the Alpha Boys School. The Alpha Boys is one of the most important music schools, if not the most important music school in Jamaica, where a lot of the grades come from. So they have a program for children, for the kids there at the Wayward Kids there, where we print the kids print the shirts and they get extra school credit for printing the shirts. So it's also super important that everything that happens for the program happens in Jamaica. The money is spent in Jamaica. Yeah, we can get shirts cheaper from America or China, but that's not the point of creating something that's supposed to sustain a culture or help be a part of the systems sustaining the culture as well. So we make sure we spend everything on the island, everything stays on the island. And the next point of this program is to also employ some of the local dancehall dancers, because having to rely on parties all the time to make a little food, if you're lucky, then a promoter just maybe give you a few drinks, and we already know how the money is different. You know, people are not getting paid, dancers not getting paid. I wanted to create the program so we can get some of the dancers off the streets into the schools, so they can start teaching their dance moves as I'm teaching this to you and saying something like this. You know, to have ravers, players, and ding dong there saying yes means this, because to be honest, dancehall for me, and one way that, you know, we got it into the New York Times is just I was teaching in Borough Hall in Brooklyn, and you know, I started teaching actually about the etymology of the words and how we can really relate a lot of those things to our life, like Take Away Yourself, right? Take Away Yourself is a dance move created by Black Blingers. Mr. Vegas, he has a song called Take Away Yourself. Now, Take Away Yourself, everybody here is Caribbean, so we all understand that you need to take yourself away from a negative situation. That's what our parents all told us one way or another when we were younger. Take away yourself. If somebody is talking to you, just take away yourself. Just mind your business. Just keep walking. So turning that dance move educationally and expressing that and going to kids now, if you're ever in a situation, and let's say it's a dangerous situation or a situation that is not really safe for you, then take yourself away from that situation. So that's like really and how we teach when it comes to teaching dancehall and the education of dancehall. It's not just, okay, we're just dancing and fun. Like, this is and words and these phrases are what all of our parents said, like no linger, right? My mother told me things like that all the time growing up. Why are you lingering around after school? You know what I mean? No linger, just keep moving around. Then you have the dance called no linger, and that's what the dance move means. So it's actually really teaching that to kids, and that's what I want the program to be as well. And that's why I want Ding Dong in there. And I actually had Wiz from Vegas there. I had Mr. Vegas show up to the school and talk to the kids. I had Zidane from Team Exclusive show up. I've had many people. I've had the Gleaner show up. I've had the Star talk about it, you know, and we're going to keep going even through right now this crisis. You know, we had a live fundraiser. You know, you're aware of what's going on. But, you know, we've been renting Airbnbs weekly as we've transitioned our agency online, you know, so we're investing into these cultures and in our culture, our own culture, spending over $4,000 a month in Airbnbs to make sure we can do this. So we can quarantine together and stream together and do this. And it's not saying that we have that, it's saying that this is what it must take to do to keep everything alive, you know? So we had a live fundraiser online, you know, we raised $319. Thank you to everybody around the world that donated. We went online and we taught for free for an hour. We put our services out there for those services for the kids, and that's all been donated already to the teacher. Big up Martha, the school teacher who's been donating and spending her life and her time every single week, every Tuesday and Wednesday for the past 3 years. So yeah, that's been happening. Last year, I won my first award. I won the Kidspreneurship Award, and also from the senator and from, I believe, the Brooklyn Borough president. So we won a few city awards from New York and the state of New York. I have the certificates at home, but I don't really remember it because I didn't do it for that. So I'm grateful, but you know, it's like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? I don't remember exactly what office it came from. It came from some office. And yeah, we're always actively accepting donations. We have a GoFundMe for our Little Dancer program that's online. It's gofundme.com/Little Dancer program. We even have a GoFundMe for our dance agency as we've been renting online to be able to teach people and to be able to raise money for other organizations and other kids. But in order to do that, we have to be together physically, and we have to survive together through a quarantine, because right now these stimulus checks are not going to save our lives. Our stimulus checks are each other's energy, and we're making sure that we stay together, we stick around. We've been 4 months strong. We moved to LA. Now we're in LA doing the same thing, and we're going to keep going.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Nice. Very nice. Love it.
Thank you. Zest.
Big D. Do that again.
Zest.
Do it again, bro.
One more time. Yeah. Yeah, man. Zest. Zest.
Yeah, man, that was great. That was great, man. I'm loving what you guys are doing, and you know, I wish you guys all the success, all the success. You know, I saw the beginnings, a little bit of it, and I see the growth that you guys had through the years, and the determination and everything that you guys been doing. You know, it's been awesome. But I don't know if you guys have any more questions, because you know I could have asked some more, but you know I'm just gonna end it right there.
Nah, no more questions. Just one more thing I want to say. When Ed was taking me down to the dance studio the first time, the week, you know, leading up to it, Ed put me in the headlight. You coming to that dance studio to meet these guys? I didn't know who you guys were. Ed put me in the headlock, threw me in the car. It was like, we're going to the studio, man. So once I met you guys, I had fun. I saw the choreography. So I enjoyed the class. So it was definitely an honor meeting you guys, and I'm wishing you guys the best also. So
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Definitely a pleasure and an honor.
Respect.
And I'll say it again. One of the things that I admire the most about Ed is when he feels passionate towards something or someone, it's real, you know, and I'll always grab on to whoever he grab on or whatever he grab onto, because his passion for that person or that thing is unmatched, you know, and I've always noticed that over the years about him. So whoever Ed tells me about, they're 100 with me, probably 200.
Thank you.
Yep, and I'll be real. Normally, I'll see something on Instagram and I'll pass through it, you know, because it's like it's the internet, you know. It's like you're not gonna get my support that easy just because you just put your stuff out there. But it's like, if Ed's sending it to me, I'm gonna take my time and look at this.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like he takes his time to know who he's putting in his circle.
Thank you, Ed. Like for real. Like that's a blessing. Like we talked about, our biggest currency is energy. You know, and our biggest real commodity and for us is, you know, the people we keep around us. And I appreciate that. I appreciate, because I guess I'm personally going to a point in my life where I'm realizing where the real treasures are. And some treasures, and most of the time the treasures, like we say, is just hidden right there. And here we have, you know, someone who may not have necessarily known our whole story, but caught, you know, a little width of it, you know, in the middle. And here you are introducing us to your family. You know, and I have a family of my own, and I know how important that is. You know, it's very sacred, because I can tell right now this is your sacred circle. It's not even about the interview right now. I'm speaking about, these are your brothers. I feel the energy connection between you and sister. You know, and you know, I love that, and I appreciate that, because that's more than love. That's trust. So thank you for your trust.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Appreciate you guys, man. So a lot of times you even walk by a stranger on the street, and you know what? You may not know that person, but that could be a good friend of yours in a couple weeks, couple years. You know, you just don't know. You know, that's why you have to treat people how you would like to be treated. So my motto is always to give, you know, people a chance, you know, and just get to know each other, you know. And like you said, sometimes when real quick story, if a parent bring a child to me that they're claiming is bad and he or she don't listen at home, I might can reach that person better than that parent. You know, and sometimes that's all it takes. I had friends where before Marvin and Ed, before I gravitated to them, I had friends that weren't doing the best things, but I was influential to them through Marvin and Ed, where I would tell them, hey, my friends that I be with over there, they're not doing that. You need to come hang with us. You know, so you never know, man. You could be so influential to each other, man. And then they turn around and say, you know what? How about we stop what we are doing when you come around, so you can hang with us and we can hang with y'all. You know, so you never know.
Thank you.
You know, they might be doing certain things that they know they're not supposed to do, but when I come around, they're like, you know what, for an hour, we're not gonna do this, but you gotta leave in an hour, bro. You know, so it's respect, man. It's respect.
Right. So so who do you guys have there? You said you have a full house of you guys there, huh?
Well, a lot of people right now have gone home to get things situated and to come back. But you know, since Brooklyn, we had about a dozen instructors, less than a dozen. We've had a house like 3 bedrooms, so it's enough space, and we've been quarantined since the beginning together. You know, so we've been quarantined since March 13th. You know, before it all really kicked off, so we made sure we're staying safe. Here right now, we still have about half a dozen people with us. A few more going back and forth, but yeah, we're just holding it down, just building, and just keeping the arc alive.
Okay.
Dimension.
Yeah.
So who's there? I'm saying, but who's there with you guys right now?
Baby Boy, King Kika.
Bring them on so we can say what's up and show the family off.
Oh, everybody's like out, like all doing it on the day. Cause like,
like, I kid you not, like what we telling you, like this is our break time right now. We wake up every day, whether we're trading stocks, we're just like researching stuff, we're working on our own businesses, like we're creating our own businesses every day, literally. So everybody right now is like, I mean, if they're taking a break, they're taking a break, but everybody is working every day.
Like our quarantine, we've 10x our busy. Like I've never personally been this busy in my life, and I've been to all around the world. This right now being in one place, it's like it's not saying that we don't have time. You know what I mean? That's a different conversation. But the time that we have is what we prioritize it, and we're prioritizing all of our time into this hibernation of work. So it's really crazy. So right now, as we're up here, somebody's probably shooting content. Somebody's probably on the interview too. Somebody probably teaching a private class.
Wow. So guys, thank you for sharing your journey and the mental aspect. And Blaka, thank you for sharing your personal story with us. Because a lot of times we kind of ignore the mental and the mental illness that goes on in our communities. So thank you for sharing that. That was we really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got one last question. Is this the longest interview you guys had?
Yes. Yes. I just looked up at the time. I said, "Oh, 2 hours."
Yeah.
Yo, we had my interview was like 3 hours long. So.
Hey, it's listen. It's when it's going, good. The time just passes. You can't.
When it's fun, hey, time flies when we're having fun.
All right.
Hey, listen. Next time you guys interview, we want to keep it about 20 minutes. Guess what? It's been fun. It's been amazing. Love it. But we need to turn off the YouTube and keep it going. Yes, sir. We need to be like 20 minutes straight to some good points. Cut off the YouTube. Kick it.
Yeah, because we got
to a party.
I got hit up from a artist that wants to do some work with you. So there's a local artist out of Brooklyn who wants to do some work. So when we get off the YouTube, we'll continue our conversation.
Before you turn it off, Blaka, you mentioned you have the kids that print shirts down in Jamaica, and we're thinking about doing a project down there, so we'll definitely be in touch with you. Since we know you, might as well do business with you. So we'll definitely talk about giving those kids some work down there.
Thank you. It's amazing. Because you're in Ochi, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Ochi.
So actually, the next school year, we're planning on moving the program to Portmore, so it'll be a little closer. I mean, it's only like not too far from Kingston and too far from St. Andrew. We're gonna have Portmore as well. So thank you.
Yes. Hey, if we're gonna bring the work, man, might as well give it to somebody we know.
Yes. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Yo, can we get Savon to do a audition before we end? Come on, Savon. Show us something, Savon. Show us something. Come on, man. Come on, Savon. Come on, man. You gotta end this. You gotta end this interview,
Marvin.
man. Come on, man. Get up, man. Show
Yo,
us something, man.
Savon, we gotta see the sauce. We gotta see the sauce.
Saucy. 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 Oh man. Hey, don't pull a muscle, man. Somebody can stop. We don't want you to pull a muscle.
We need the hot sauce. We need the Scotch bonnet sauce.
Hey, check this out. You see if I could use my other hand, incorporate it, but it's holding the phone.
Yo, Marv, you just made your logo, man.
That's
Yo,
a good
Marv, you just
rotation,
made
though.
your
That's
logo. You didn't see that, Marv? You just made your logo.
I saw him. That was a good rotation he had.
Hey. That was corny.
Yeah. It was so saucy though.
Anyway,
Yes.
I think they gotta go, guys.
Hold on.
Hey.
I think y'all gotta put Eddie down, man.
Hold on. I gotta do the Z, right?
Because we work hard and we grind hard. Big Z's, but we're not asleep. You get me?
Yeah, we don't sleep. Trust us, we don't sleep. All
Hey,
right.
yo, good luck on the stocks, guys, because we're doing the same thing. It's not easy, but good luck on the stock options and the Forex. We're doing the same thing. Good luck with that also.
We're gonna talk further on that because
Hold on.
Yeah.
So
it's
hold on a second. Hold on. So everyone on YouTube land, we thank everyone for coming on tonight. Make sure you share, subscribe, put on the notification on our next live event, from our game night to our webinars. And we're going to tell everybody good night. Thank you. Del, anything, Savon?
Yeah, just remember that this platform is to uplift each other. So have yourself a good night, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right. Peace.
have a good night, y'all. Thank you.